It is day 24 of your return to exercise journey with Jules. And it's bittersweet, mostly exciting, but also, moving on, onward and upward. Of course, you may go back and do all the other workouts again, in which case I will be seeing you again. But this is still day 24. Needs to be noted that I am very grateful and thankful that you have been here returning to that exercise with me, and I hope that you can go off and do great things with your body from here. So yes, go do the good things, the fun things, the things you enjoy, the things you love that make your body feel good. All right. We are going to do just our basic breathing today in day 24, bringing it back to the basics. So I am starting seated. If you would like to go all the way to the very beginning and sit on something nice and cushy to feel that pelvic floor light pressure and release and see how far you've come, please do that if you haven't done it in a while. But yeah, get all nice and cozy. We are going to inhale. Feel that air come into our abdominal cavity as our lungs fill up. Feel that ribcage expand through our back, into our bellies and our sides, into the pelvis. Pelvic floor relaxes down. And exhale, light squeeze. Air passively comes out as you lightly draw up that pelvic floor and saying, hey, there you are. Thanks for being there. Thanks for supporting me. And inhale. No breathing into the shoulders anymore, right? No breathing into the chest anymore, right? All through that rib cage. Distributing that pressure evenly into our entire abdominal cavity. Feeling that nice relax, lengthen, full range of motion without bearing down on our pelvic floor, and light squeeze up as the air comes out. Tiger, this is just so relaxing, isn't it? You just want to do a couple breaths with us? Yeah. All right. Have a seat, bud. Let's do a couple with Tucker. All right, inhale. Relax, release, lengthen, exhale. Draw up, out that air. Yes, this should hopefully just feel nice and smooth, hopefully even relaxing. Full diaphragm breathing is actually a stress inhibitor. Not sure I mentioned that before. Always a good way to start a workout. It's just nice and relaxed and stress-free. All right, we're gonna come to all fours and do some hip cars, which means you gotta go back to your bed, buddy. All right, so all fours, we're gonna do our hip cars with a nice active core to start, right? Kind of angling so you can see this. Knee comes forward and try to rotate at that hip socket. So I'm not bouncing that pelvis, right? So just the hip socket. Knee comes slightly in, heel goes slightly out, and big circle around. You're also welcome to draw that knee out before you tilt it in and do that circle in all fours. Sometimes that feels a little bit better, easier to control, and we want to pay attention as we do this, as always, but maybe easier to make the connection to those TA muscles, those deep bottom muscles right inside those hip bones. We want those to be engaging here to help us make this circle, and that's going to avoid that dump of our pelvis down. So a lot more control of abs and pelvis in general from all fours as opposed to that stand. All right, it's enough. Let's go backwards. So out, open up the hip, socket, big circle back around, open and around. You're also probably going to feel this warming up your back and your glutes as well. Here, I'll show you this side. From this side, so forward, out a little bit, tilt in, and make that circle. Again, here, I'm not here. Turn those lower abs on and bring that knee up again, slightly out. Internally rotate, big circle. I encourage you to do these regularly as you continue your movement activity journey without me, as I think they're always going to be an important piece of your journey. Hip mobility, stability, all connected with an entire core. Okay, I feel like I'm just warm from those. I don't want to do any more warm up, but we will. We're going to do a side plank on our knee with a little bit of a leg raise. So on our forearms, that bottom leg is at a 90-degree angle, and I'm going to come up on that knee, stacking my hips. I'm going to do a little raise my leg here. This arm can be here. Yes. And if this is the first time you've done this, yay! Awesome. We've had the option to the side plank. If you do need to come down, you can always just do this good old leg raise, cradling the head down. Also an option. Let's go other side. Starting and trying that side plank if you have not. Keep those hips stacked. That foot is flexed. Straight up in the air. 8 to 10-ish. I don't think I did that many. That's fine. As many as feels like we're getting that core and those glutes warm, which might be more for some and less for others. Grab yourself a resistance band. Good mornings. That's right. Couldn't let another day go by without doing these. Stepping on my band is a double, standing up, gripping the sides, roll those shoulders back and down. Hip hinge. Feel that tension in the hamstrings and the glutes. On back up. Feel very mechanical when I do these. That's okay. That's that oil driller analogy. Driller. Not driller. I don't know what driller is. Maybe that's a thing. 8 to 10. Good mornings. Keeping that back flat, sticking that hips back. Making sure my shoulders are stacked back away from my ears. And whoop, off I go. Standing on it again, but as a single strand. Crisscross it. High pull. So keep trying to keep my wrists fairly straight. Elbows go high in the air and back down. Doing this without a scrunch on my neck. Kind of tricky. But using the back of my neck, not my neck, my traps. Shoulders in general. And whew, that was a good number of those. All right, push-up rotations and push-ups, scaps. Scap push-ups. You can do this elevated. If we're doing this, make sure we're here over the top, right? And we're rotating open, side to side. My feet can also rotate with me side to side, trying to keep those hips still. Or we can do it on the floor. 8 to 10 total. So I think I'm there. And same thing, either elevated or on the floor in this push-up position on my toes. Drop my chest. Push back out. Not bending my elbows. Good. Scap mobility control. And making sure I'm keeping that core nice and taut in that push-up position. Again, transverse. Transverse. Definitely should be in a position where we can start really focusing on those, making sure they're on for us and our obliques, our entire core, all of it. All of it's ready. It's ready to rock. It's ready to do the things for us. And our jumping opportunity for warm-up. Jump for height. How high can you go? If you have a low ceiling, can you touch it? Maybe. If you are not jumping, here's what this looks like though. And try to jump and go up the other hand. Let's try to do 2 or 3 on each hand. If you need to do fake jumps, you can fake jump. Sorry, bounce my microphone. Or just merchant pace really fast. Okay, we'll come back around to it. You'll get an opportunity on those. Let's come back down. Whew. Doing those last 4 warm-up things. Side plank, or just have a lay on the ground. Here, leg raise. You might have noticed this is also one of my favorites. Leg raises. Side lying lateral leg raises. Whew. It gets all the things. Innards, outards, backside. Oh. Going into push-up rotations now? No, we're not. I just wanted to be able to transition that easier. But trusty good mornings with my band. Here we go. Look, my shins are vertical. Yay. And high pulse. Again, I'm using my back, my arms, not my neck. Push-up rotations, scap, push-ups. We are going to be doing push-ups in the workout today. If you didn't see that already. And 8. Reset. Make sure I'm nice and stacked over. Again, these can be done on elevation too. Oh, don't do that. Keep those hips up. If you haven't checked in with your doming lately, by the way, first tell sign is, can you breathe? So if you're doing anything forward like that, if you're like, hey, I'm starting to challenge myself in my push-up position, and you're like, find yourself holding your breath, it's too much. Or you feel and you're like, oh, everything's so firm. Might be a little bit too much, but anyways, if you haven't checked with that in a while, do so. Breathing is an important thing at this level. At some point, if you are becoming a heavier weightlifter, you know, holding your breath Valsalva maneuver is a thing, but we're not doing that here. That's not where we're at in life. What are we doing? Jumps. I get off on little tangents, don't I? It's fine. Definitely easier for me to reach with my right hand. A couple of these if you need to. And we're warm. We're warm and ready. All right. Last 15 minutes of continuous work here in day 24. Keeping the same style. I like it. 15 minutes is plenty of time to get in nice solid amount of work. So what we need is some weights. We want similar variety to what we have been, medium to heavy, as that is an option. Something to elevate for push-ups if you don't want to do them on the floor. And I think that's it. Got my hip circle, but I don't think we need it. So there we have it. See you back here in a second. What does day 24 have in store? We'll know in 3, 2, 1. We're gonna do some split squats to start. So get yourself in a nice, solid hip width position. When you come down with your knee, you should have a 90-90 degree, and you're dropping that back knee down and up, down and up. Again, thinking about that back knee dropping so the shoulders stay high and the weight doesn't go forward. You want to stay nice and evenly distributed with your weight on the front and the back. To the other side. If you're not quite making it all the way down, no big deal. You can go a little halfway. All good. As long as, again, we're keeping our weight nice and centered for 5 to 6. On each side, right into, here's the fun jumping part, a jumping split squat. Full expression. Jump straight up to the ceiling with your head. Switch your feet in the air. Land nice and gently in that split squat position for 5 to 6 jumps. If you find yourself jumping and you're doing this weird like land, not even, you might want to modify. So you can jump out and then together, and then out, and then together, and that way you're not putting that odd pressure forward. if you're not jumping at all, I want you to turn this into a fast reverse lunge. You don't even have to touch the ground if you don't want to. Just being quick about it. Fast, 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 fast. All right, that's our first one. Woo! Split squats and a jumping split squats. And then deadlift with a high pull. I love the deadlift. So standing, we're doing this more like a Romanian, so we're starting with weight in our hands standing. And we're gonna hip hinge, come over to mid shin. You can drop to the floor if you want, as long as you keep that mid shin, right? And then as we stand, I'm gonna use the momentum of my stand to pop my weight up in a high pull. So this is the high pull, right? Elbows high, weight to my chest, pull those shoulders back and down away. So I'm using that upper back to pull. So again, deadlift, high pull, deadlift, high pull. Weight should stay right close to our body the whole time. We shouldn't be doing anything like this. We're not swinging. We're not putting any pressure on that low back. We're not pushing our hips through. And if you want to do this in 2 parts, you can deadlift and high pull. That makes more sense for you in your head. But again, if you're doing the full thing, bounce that weight right up. If you're doing it in 2 parts, you might want a lighter weight for the pull, but if you're doing the full thing, you can do a little bit heavier. All right, push-ups. So if you're doing them elevated, you want your hands to be somewhere nice and solid where they're not going to slip, or your weight shifted forward, and you're coming down so that you're aiming for the sternum, right? So hands neutral position, like 45 with your arms, pushing to here. So again, I'm using that mid back to press, not up here by my face. I don't want to see this. I want to see this. Go as far down as you're comfortable. You don't have to be tapping every time, and you're just doing as many as you can. If you come to the floor and you're like, well, I can do 1 on the floor. Awesome. Maybe do 1 on the floor and then do a few elevated, because I would like you to get in more than a few. On the ground, same idea. Shift that weight forward, come down, my hands right below that chest, and I'm not here. I just might have done that. Trying to keep those hips elevated and not dropping. Not elevated, but, you know, even. Woo! And then I do remember why I had my hip circle here. This is an option advancement to our dead bug. Yay, dead bugs. Had to bring them into this day 24 because I love them so much. So we're starting here in our dead bug position. We're going to go in an isometric hold here. So if you need to tap heel, but I want you to pick up this head and press. Leg can be here too, hovering. We're here tapping. Press, hold, on an exhale. Inhale back to center. Good opportunity to come down, check with that dome, check with your TAs. Make sure that these guys are on, trying to flatten out your entire core musculature. If those TAs aren't on, you're going to see more of that dome. Soft dome, no big deal. Hard dome, make sure you can breathe. Turn those TAs on, right? If you did want to advance this, take your hip circle band, put it on your feet so you get a little bit of extra resistance, especially across those lower abs as you press. Woo! Yeah, that band will do it. 8 to 10 or 6, I don't know. Dead bugs probably depends on how hard it feels for you and how hard or how long you're holding your press for. All right, there's our 4. Back to the beginning. Split squats. Whoops, I'm bouncing my knee. Don't bounce your knee. Other side. I'll start with a modified jump out, jump together. Whew. All right. Deadlift to the high pull. supine shoulder back, vertical shin. That's my 2 pieces. Deadlift, high pull, or all together. Use that momentum to get the weight up nice and close to my body. Again, I'm not doing that. Stay nice and stacked. Vertical. Break it up anytime you need to. Again, if you're doing the Romanian, that's fine. Here's my full. Slight difference. You may or may not be getting that nuance, but all good. Push-ups. Turn my TAs on. That's gonna help me maintain that solid plank position with my push-ups. And on the floor. No band for this. For this one. Hey. Oh, I need a quick windshield wiper. It's fine. Yeah. Okay. Back raise with squats. Hopefully you have been able to find your pace, right? Maybe not yet, but break as needed, rest as needed. Especially with these jumps. It's been a while since you've done them. You'll realize real soon, or maybe you have because we've been adding them in, that little extra vigor makes a difference. Whew. Yeah. Yeah. That's nice. We're over halfway. If ever these also start to bug your back, probably something with your form if you can't figure it out. Stop. Just don't do them. That's fine. Or just do deadlifts, which I just switched to. I don't know how many in general I was doing. That's fine. Let's see how many ground push-ups I'm up for today. Again, only go to your knees if you don't have anything to elevate. But I really prefer you to elevate and get good range of motion with an elevation on your toes before you moved yourself to the floor. No need to stand up. Flip it over for a dead bug. Here's my advanced version. Oh yeah, that band really helps those TAs turn on. If you're having any trouble with them before, you won't now. Ugh, but only go there if you're ready for it. I'll do a few more. Without it. Woo! Split squats. Here's the non-jump bonus here. On the side. Push-ups. Using my mid-back, remember, to press away. Head and neck stays neutral. Whew. And I'm going to go back to my traditional dead bug. Exhaling to think about keeping tight to that core. Head raise will help. Keep engaged as well. Whew. Sweaty, sweaty today. Less than 3 minutes. Woo! Here we go. Modified jumps. Keeping that chest high. Landing. My weight even. Fully distributed. Whoops. Grabbing my pole. Come on back. We're working you today. You got this. Entire backside, that is. And woo! Push-ups. Remember, if these start to get hard, as you keep going, you can always elevate higher. You are getting less than like 4 or 5. Well, maybe more like less than 3. And move up in your elevation as you get tired. All right, band again. Oh, less than 30 seconds. Let's see. Maybe I'll get a few jumps in still. One can only hope. Looks like I will. That's a good way to end. Stretch time. Let's go onto the floor. We're going to do a nice rotation through cobra to child's to cat-cow. Maybe starting cat-cow since I'm here. We just did this in day 23, but we've done a lot. Feels good. No reason why not do cat-cow every day. Oh, rounding and arching, starting with a pelvic tilt around. Ooh, if you wish. And the knees go wide, toes together, hips go back. Child's pose, pause. Take a couple breaths. And then come up, knees go in, come down, raise up for cobra. Down one more time, up. And through to all fours. Do one cat-cow. Back to neutral spine, knees out, toes together, cat to the child's pose. One breath. And knees together. Go down, cobra. If this is too fast for you, you can slow it down. You're like, whatever, I don't want to move that much anymore. Go ahead and take your time through these. I'm going to do one more of these series. Cat cow. Child's. And cobra. Whew. That's what I need to bring my heart rate down. A little bit of stretch flow. Coming back to seat where we started today. I plant one hand down on the ground beside me. Take that other arm. Reach up and over for a nice side stretch. Kind of hang my head there too. That feels good. This hand can also go under, but I like to support myself. Other side, hand down. Up and over, reach. Back up, arms to the side. Big open with this chest touch. Chest stretch. And wrap your arms around yourself. Oh, arch that back. Go ahead and lean forward slightly. Nice big hug to end here today. Again, thank you for being here, and I wish you the best in your future activity and life endeavors. Bye.